Good evening, subscribers and fans, and welcome to Mattsquatch Presents, brought to you by The Paranormal. Hello, everybody. Mattsquatch here. We have something a little different for you today. We have a movie review. This is the movie Missing 411. As some of you guys probably know, this is based off of David Pilates. He's a former law enforcement officer. He's also into Bigfoot. And he has written a series of books called Missing 411. He has an East Coast, a West Coast, and I believe a Beyond version. Years ago, I read the West Coast version, and it was pretty fascinating. What's going on is across the United States and in different parts of the world and in Canada, people are going missing under strange circumstances. Now, these circumstances are not, fell in a river and washed up 3 days later, or got hit on the head or abducted by somebody or a gangland type thing. We're talking about in the middle of the woods. These are very odd, unexplained circumstances with strange things happening to them. Where dogs won't track, or, a 3-year-old is found, 3,000 feet up on a rocky cliff days later in an area that had already been searched. Strange things like that. So the movie itself is 4 of these stories from, I think, ranging from the 50s all the way from the 90s to the early 2000s to one a couple years ago. Some of them were in the news, pretty famous. A couple of them I remember hearing on the news. The movie is pretty well produced. It has good production value. The audio visual, the interviews are good. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and 37 minutes, something like that. So it's full feature length. And I got to tell you, as a father of a young child, it is hard to watch. But I feel if you're a parent, you should at least know about this stuff. If you're going to go out into the woods, especially our national parks, which I've been going to national parks since I was a kid, all up and down the West Coast. And I love being outdoors, but this kind of makes you think what's going on out there with our missing persons. Now, here's a map. You could probably see something in your area in the mountainous regions. Those are missing people. The huge cluster on the left happens to be Yosemite National Park, which is very disturbing because I've been there quite a few times, and I've been there with nephews and nieces and other people who are very small. So just watch your kids, keep a close eye on them, follow the advice in the movie, the books. So the movie itself is very good. I would give it about 3 out of 5 stars. The only thing that I would probably fault it on is it didn't get weird enough. It didn't get into the real bizarre stuff. These were kind of the more simple cases, if you want to say that. Now, the reason why I have a Bigfoot there is David Pilates never says what he thinks is causing these. And I know in the Bigfoot community and in the paranormal community, a lot of people blame Bigfoot for these disappearances. Because if you look at that map, a lot of Bigfoot sightings happen in the areas that these kids have gone missing. Now, the first time I heard David Pilates was years ago on Coast to Coast AM. I'm a huge Coast to Coast fan, although I don't listen much lately because my baby is diurnal and Coast to Coast is a nocturnal show, and I just kind of don't have the time to keep up with it. But when I am up late at night, I listen to Coast to Coast, and I love it. Now, one thing I remember hearing years ago, and I've watched 2 or 3 dozen David Pilates interviews, I've read his books, and he doesn't ever really talk about it. But in one off-the-cuff, coast-to-coast interview, because it's very rare that there are survivors of these abductions that are in his books, but when they are found, very few of them are talk or have the ability or are disabled. And one of them was a child, and I remember him saying that she described a dog man took me. Now, that was very odd. I never heard him repeat it in another interview. If you guys have heard it, please comment below. But it was something he said off the cuff in an interview, and all the other interviews I've never heard him say that. Not that he thinks it's Dogman, but one of the children that got abducted and was actually found alive, which is incredibly rare in these cases that he covers, said that it was a Dogman-like creature. Now, Bigfoot, Dogman, who knows? So in the end, I would give this book and the movies a good score, worth watching. I wish it would have gotten a little more out there to show the bizarreness of some of these cases, but otherwise very, very good. It really gets you thinking. David Pilates does a good job of never actually telling you what he thinks is going on, so you can draw your own conclusions. So stay sharp, be safe, watch your kids out there in the woods. Thank you, and please like and subscribe and pass the word along. By the way, another note, If you're going to get this, I think you can rent it on Amazon if you have streaming service, which would be good. I ended up buying it. I just bought it from David Pilati's website, the Can-Am Project Missing 411. I think that's the way to go. It was like $22 or $23 shipped. I actually wanted to get the DVD and pass it around to people and hand it off to my family. But you can download it. You can stream it. Don't buy it off eBay or a reseller on Amazon because they're going to gouge you. The cheapest place, and I think I got it like in 2 days, fast shipping, was direct from David Pilates. So thank you very much. Have a nice week. Thanks.